Welcome back, everybody, to the Boxscore Sports Podcast. I am your host, Ryan. On today's episode, we are going to catch up on the week that happened, try to get most of the NBA's top stories. And to do that with me is Isaac. Isaac, how's it going, man?
Good, Ryan. How you been?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Slow sports week? No? Yes?
Yeah,
Eh,
there's been
I know.
some breaking news lately, but especially in football too. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that, like the combine and stuff, but
Mm-hmm. The
combine
the
somebody
guy
broke
that
the.
ran.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah,
say that.
yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty
yeah.
cool.
Did you hear that Jason Kelsey just retired too?
Yep, yep. Jason
Yeah.
Kelsey's officially retired.
So.
Yeah,
But we're not here talking about basketball today. We're actually going to be talking, football. We are talking about
I
basketball.
would say we are talking
Uh,
about basketball.
yeah, no, I was seeing if you were paying attention. Okay, man. Well, let's get into it. Let's first talk about how you're feeling because your Boston Celtics, dude, are rolling right now.
It's
They
beautiful.
are, yeah, they've won 11 straight, their last 10, but 11 straight. And they destroyed the Warriors yesterday. How you feeling, man, about Boston?
It's looking great. It's looking great. I don't want to get my hopes up too high. I was just talking to a Celtics fan on Twitter, and he was like saying like, oh, if we don't win the championship, this is gonna be like this is gonna be like the worst like ever. Like biggest
Mm-hmm.
disappointment, season ever. And I'm just like, shh, just be quiet. Let's just enjoy it. Just take a game. Let's just take it a game at a time. I'm not worried about the playoffs. Just enjoy it. But there's some truth to that. The Celtics got to win it all, man. That's how great they've been playing. And they just gotta keep going. Just gotta keep rolling.
So are you saying that like the guy was saying if Boston doesn't win the title, it's like the
It's gonna be like the
the
worst season, the most biggest disappointment season ever
for for Celtics or
for the
all time
Celtics.
NBA?
Well, I mean,
Okay,
it'll be
okay.
like the biggest choke job, I would think, other than the Warriors losing that finals, going 73-9. So I don't think it's worse than that, but probably for the Celtics, yeah, like Celtics team, it'll be up there with like the Warriors as well. But I'm not saying it's like the biggest bust ever than the Warriors, but it's up there though for sure. If they don't win it, if they don't capture a title, it'll be terrible. So they're on pace
Uh
for like what, like 66 wins.
yeah, they're yeah. Yeah, I mean they're gonna have a lot of wins, but I guess my thing is like I still think like maybe someone like the Nuggets present a problem because as good as the Celtics are, the best player in the world right now is Jokic, and if you end
Right.
up losing against the Nuggets, I don't think there's any shame to that
Mhm.
personally. Um, and so that would be obviously like to me even the Warriors, back in the day they lost to LeBron James. It's like, yeah, that's a travesty. Like, let's come on. I mean, like that's not that what's it called? It was a letdown, but it's not the biggest upset of all time. The Pistons upsetting the Lakers in 2004 was a bigger upset. The Mavs beating the Heat was a bigger upset. So I just think sometimes we live in the moment a little too much. Uh, because like let me ask you, if the Nuggets beat the Celtics, I mean, would it shock you if they beat the Celtics in the finals?
I mean, as a Celtics fan, we're very hard on our teams. Like we
That's
we only
fair.
we only
That's fair.
expect championships. So, you don't win a championship, it's a failed season no matter who you go up against and lose. So, we're pretty hard on our teams. Because we expect championships, we expect to win it. So, yeah, the Nuggets aren't. Not saying they're not good and they're not a team to be feared and respected, but they're not the number one seed out in the West. And they're not playing like the greatest. They're not playing like our style of basketball this year, I'm saying. So yeah, it would definitely be a disappointment. And especially if you lose to an Eastern team this year, because Boston came up short going to the finals last year. So if you lose to the Heat again, or you lose to get bounced out by the Bucks, or you get bounced out by Philly, or you get bounced out by Cleveland or New York, or any of these teams, oh man, it's gonna be embarrassing. You know,
Yeah, I would agree with that part of it. If you're like, hey, if we lose in the East, it would be a disappointment. I would agree. It's just when it gets to the West, it's like the reason why the West doesn't have a as big as a win streak. Like, so the Nuggets in the West have the biggest win streak right now is six, and they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Hmm.
but it's because the top teams have to always play each other. Like the Timberwolves just lost to the Clippers. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
they're fighting back and forth. But I would agree with the Eastern Conference part. If Boston doesn't come out of East, that would at this point be a huge disappointment
Yes, it would.
for Celtic fans.
Yes, it would. Now,
Yeah.
I honestly believe Jason Tatum deserves to be in the MVP race though this year. I
Okay.
think that cemented it this past game. Um, that he has to be in the top. I'm not saying he's locked to win it. I'm just saying he has. Like nobody's given Jason Tatum any type of recognition or credit to be an MVP this year, which
Yeah.
is kind of upsetting and kind of irritating. But it is what it is. I feel like JT definitely deserves to be in it though.
So do you think he's like five?
I think he's like
Like
three.
okay,
He's
okay.
top three. I still think Jokic is probably going to do it, but then again, I feel like it does deserve to go to the player on the best team with the best record too. Isn't that usually how most
It
do it?
it
Do
fluctuates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
know it fluctuates,
fluctates.
but it's like, come on, we've
Well,
seen we've seen
that's
this
the
happen.
problem. Yeah, yeah, we have seen this happen.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because last year the best team with the best record was the Bucks, but Giannis didn't win it last year. Embiid did. They were the third team in the East. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It doesn't always go to the best team player on the best team. And I don't think that's necessarily the way the award should go, but it has been that way. They've done it that way before, which is
Mm,
why the MVP is such an inconsistent reward to me because it just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it just,
right.
they're not consistent with the way they judge it.
Yeah, they don't.
But I'm with you. I think Tatum has to be in the conversation along, like, the obvious ones, Jokic. I think Giannis has to be in the conversation. Shea at this
Mm,
point is probably in the
yep,
conversation.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So anywho.
But we got to give
Anything else?
respect. Yeah, got to give respect to JB though. Last night,
Yeah.
he played, or yesterday, he played amazing.
Hmm.
He's improved since last year, and I can just tell just by the way he's played. He's been playing. I know he wants it. He wants to prove everybody wrong from that Eastern Conference Game 7 against the Heat last year, where he just played horrendous.
Yeah.
And I know JB wants to get back there, and he got something to prove. And I just love the swagger and the intensity of this team as a whole. And
Hmm.
we blew out the Warriors 45 points in the first half with Steph, Clay, and Dre in that
Yeah.
lineup. People are saying, I've been seeing people saying, oh, like the Warriors haven't been good all year, this, and that. The Warriors were 13-3 since January.
Hmm.
So it's not like the Warriors have been playing good recently, and we did lose to the Warriors earlier this year.
Yeah. I think it's when you
People are,
blow any team out, like a good team to average or whatever, like, but one of the better teams in the league by 50 points, like you deserve some recognition. Um, the only thing is like you guys came out hot, like right nine. I think
ten
I
threes in
heard
the
that
first quarter.
yeah, not, and you hit your first nine threes. Yeah, and it's just like, man, there's just no way that this Golden State Warriors are going to be in this game. I think it was a cool mentality that Boston came into the game with. Like, we're just going to step on these guys' throat right away, and we'll just move
Yep.
on to the next game, which is basically what they did. Which absolutely deserves some
They
credit.
put they
Absolutely.
put Steph Curry in prison. Drew Holiday was
In the
locking him
fridge, you
up.
mean?
Derek White, everything.
You put him in the fridge?
Put him in the freezer. He
Yeah.
put they that guy was like nowhere to be found, man. Steph Curry
Mm,
was, man, and I think it goes to that 2022 finals though too. I feel like the Celtics, still feel that pain that they beat them in our home, in
hmm.
that game 6. So I feel like there was some, you know, animosity a little bit for them being
Yeah,
and winning it in our house. So
yeah, and I think like with you having Derek White and Holiday, you
yeah,
have something kind of special you can throw at Steph that not a lot of other teams can throw at Steph. That Clay's not the same guy, so even though like you still have to worry about him, but he's not the same guy he was. So it's basically like,
Right.
hey, let's just keep throwing our best defenders at Steph, and that's something not a lot of teams can do is throw someone like Derek White and Holiday. One of those guys would be awesome, but you have two of them, which I think shows that they do have a high ceiling. The Boston Celtics do this year because of how deep their roster is.
You said you have you said it's going to be the Celtics and the Nuggets in the finals, and you have the Nuggets winning it.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think I do think that the Celtics are the one team I could see beating the Nuggets, but it's more like, hey, I want to see them dethroned before I, it's like this. I said this last week, but I'll say it again. It's like the Chiefs. Until you see someone beat them, it's like I'm just gonna keep taking the Chiefs at this point. Like it's with the Nuggets. They won last year and they kind of deserve that respect. Until someone dethrones them, I'm gonna pick them to win. Yeah, and you had the Celtics, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously. Obviously. Yeah, yeah, of course you had the
No, I
Celtics.
have the Nuggets, Ryan. No, I'm just kidding.
I love the Nugs. Okay, man, anything else about your Celtics?
um, Porzingis, you know, I just think doing that without Porzingis too was very impressive to say the
Yes.
least.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's just I just feel like I mean it's with every team too. It's like with the Clippers. We just stay
Mm-hmm.
healthy. I don't see anybody beating this team. That's what I'm saying. I would have Boston over Denver. If we have our full squad healthy, everybody's playing, Porzingis is healthy. I don't see even the Nuggets beating us in a 7-game series. So I think that's what it boils down to that because that's why I'm just saying like shush for right now. Let's just enjoy the moments, take it a game at a time because just never know, man. Just never know. Bad things happen a lot to championship teams that are on championship runs, so
Well, yeah,
I
it
don't want to
just
get
takes one
jinxed.
injury.
Right?
Yeah, it
That's
just
all it
takes an
takes.
injury
Yep.
or whatever. I guess the thing with Porzingis is you still like I just don't trust him against Jokic. Like Jokic is just a better player and I don't know. It's just like what's cool about the matchup is like I think like you guys compare like both teams can.
I feel like Horford could lock up Jokic. He did it to Giannis,
Yeah, but
you
Jokic
know?
is a different beast. The thing with Giannis is he doesn't look to pass the ball. So he's easier to defend because you kind of know he's going to it's not that he never passes the ball, but I'll tell you when I watch Bucks games, I don't know how much, like I know you watch them, but like
Hmm.
pay attention to this. He will drive the lane and he will attract three defenders and he will go for the layup and he'll get a foul call sometimes he'll miss. But then when you look at the perimeter, there are people wide open, like his
Right.
his his teammates, and he doesn't pass the ball like Jokic does. So I think he's easier to cover in that sense, where most of the time when he gets the ball, he's going to the basket. He's still a beast to guard. It's easier. It's not as easy to stop. But Horford
Right.
did do that. Um, I guess wasn't that though two years ago? We know he's a little older too as
Well,
well.
well, I'm
Horford,
saying
yeah.
for Jokic, you're not.
Hmm.
I feel like it would be easy to guard Jokic as far as the Celtics go because, you just put either like Porzingis or Horford. I think Mazzulla would put Horford on him going into the paint if he's driving or doing a post move or whatever. I feel like Horford would be a better matchup for that to like get blocks and maybe to stop him. But like you said, like for Jokic, he's a passer. We got Derek White, Drew Holiday, Brown, and Tatum that don't need to crash and help Horford out. Where Giannis is 6'11", 7 foot 7 feet tall, freight train.
Hmm.
He's taller than most people in the league,
Hmm.
and he's just so strong. And I'm not saying Jokic isn't strong, but Jokic is kind of slow. Where we don't need to throw three guys and triple team the guy. You just stay man to man defense. And let Jokic force Jokic to drive to the lane or get him in to do layups and stuff or post moves. Try to take his passing abilities away. Because if Jokic got nowhere to pass, I think that limits his game too.
Yeah, no, that's true. He is. I think he's 7'1". Horford's like 6'10", 6'9", 6'10". So there would be a little bit of an advantage there for
I
Jokic.
thought Jokic was shorter. I thought he was like 6'11".
Oh, I thought he was 7 foot 7'1".
Really?
Yeah, I thought he was 7 foot for sure.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but I thought he was 7 foot. I could be wrong. I thought um
Yeah, he's
because
6'11".
oh, see, I don't know where I get these numbers from. 2K, does 2K have it at 7 foot?
I don't know.
Yeah, it says 6'11".
Yeah, Al
Okay.
Horford's 6'10", so I mean that's a good matchup. Porzingis is 7'2", 7'3". So that's a tall guy. I mean, I know Jokic is bigger as far as like body size.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could probably, but that's another like that's what I'm saying. You could put KP down there. KP's getting blocks,
Yeah,
but
I
I would just put Horford on him just because Horford got the size. It's only an inch taller than Horford, and Horford got a good wingspan. Horford just plays good defense down in that post, man.
yeah, he's good. I don't know. I like to see. I think the Celtics are the best team to play them, but I'd like to see um some team dethrone the Nuggets. And to me,
Here's my take though, Ryan, on that. What you said about Jokic. I
mhm,
feel like if the Celtics do play the Nuggets in the finals, I feel like the key factor it's not Jokic. It's gonna be Murray.
mm,
I feel like the
could
way the
be.
Nuggets beat the Celtics is if Murray's playing like Steph Curry and he's just shooting lights out. I feel like I don't even think it'll be Jokic's series. And if the Nuggets win, I think Jamal Murray would win Finals MVP. I think the Nuggets would have to really rely on Jamal Murray in that series. Jamal Murray has to play like perfect.
I do agree with that. I think Jamal Murray will be a big factor. But it's gonna be him and Jokic because that's how they did it against the Heat last year. Both of them basically had a couple. Like I
That
think
was a
there was one game where both
cakewalk.
of them. Yeah, I know. Both of them had a triple. Well, ask the Celtics how much the Heat were a cakewalk.
It came
But
back 3-zip. They should have Tatum
yeah,
didn't
they
get hurt, and the
almost did.
Celtics would
I
have won. The
know.
Celtics would have
It,
made history. I
it
don't
could
want to
have
keep
been. It
bringing
could
that
have
up,
been.
Ryan. Don't bring it up. Stop
Well,
bringing it up.
I'm just letting you know. I don't think it's as
That was a
it was
that was
it was
dirt. That was a dirt
who,
game 7.
but didn't didn't there was a game where Jokic and Murray both like got a triple double. Like it's just gonna be both of them, and that's why I like about the Celtics is with White and Holiday they can take turns on Murray, and then so as but I think you're right. You just man them up.
Mm-hmm.
But Jokic is still to me that I always okay. Not only do I respect the Nuggets in a way, like I just want to see someone to throw him, but Jokic is by far the best player in the world right now,
Mm.
in my opinion. Like he
Like
just
his
well,
IQ and everything, the way he plays the
yeah, just
game.
his
Yeah.
pass, his scoring ability. He's not even anymore like a negative on defense anymore. So like, and I guess Giannis is close. I like Tatum a lot. I don't want to disrespect the other players either, but he's just playing really well, and he's just on another level. So it's hard to play a guy like that who's that big and so willing to pass the ball and can shoot from anywhere on the floor, basically. So it'll be interesting, but I do think that your team has the best chance of beating the Nuggets. So I want to, I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup in the
Yeah, that would
finals.
be fun.
Yeah, I
I
agree
think I
with you
got the
there.
Clippers coming out the West though, if they stay healthy.
Yeah, yeah. When we'll see about that. Hopefully they do though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you ready to move on to our next point?
Yep.
So next, we're going to actually talk about LeBron. So we didn't get a chance to talk about some of the bigger stories that happened early last week. One of them was LeBron was getting close to the record, but during the weekend, he actually passed the record. He got to the 40,000 point mark. He's the first player ever in NBA history to do that. He did it in a loss to the Nuggets. How are we feeling about that? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's a cool accomplishment to be the first and probably the only player to probably ever do it in NBA history. I don't think anybody will come close to that unless Wembanyama just goes nuts. I think Wembanyama is the only player that could possibly do it by the time his career is done and over with.
Okay.
Just because I just feel like Wembanyama's game's just gonna elevate, in his sixth, seventh year in the league. He's just gonna be on a, he's just gonna have so much experience and so much. His game's just gonna evolve, and it's already. I mean, you see what he's doing now in his rookie year. He's amazing, bro. So
Yeah.
I feel like Wembanyama might be the only one close to doing it. But I don't even think Wemby will top this, bro. I don't
He's
see
not.
anybody doing 40,000 points, and he got
I don't
11. He
know.
got 10,000 career assists, 10,000 career rebounds. He had a triple double in career stats.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so yeah, congratulations to him, obviously. Good job for LeBron. The longevity part of it is what is the most amazing thing
Yeah,
about his accomplishment is that he's just been able to be this great for this long. So there is that factor. I guess listening to the only other podcast I listened to was the Bill Simmons one, and they mentioned Luca has a puncher's chance, and they broke down the numbers. But even that seems out of the realm of possibility. You really need somebody that is going to come in and just go score ridiculous for 20 years is what you need. And I don't see, and not just that, but not have a major injury either, because that's what happened to a lot of these other players, like the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordan, some of these guys who could have probably reached 40,000, either injury or age or not playing a long time. That's what held them back from getting to that point mark. So, I just think it's going to be one of the harder records to beat is 40,000 points.
yeah. I think it's untouchable. Honestly, I don't see anybody doing it.
Yeah.
I heard Jason Tatum's on has got a good shot too. But I don't see Tatum playing into his 40s like LeBron's doing. Like I see all these guys slowing down when after they hit 36, 37. Like
Yeah.
I don't see Luca doing it, cuz Luca's,
No.
by the time Luca's 36, 37, he's not going to be doing this. Like what LeBron's doing. He's
Correct.
not going to be in good shape and taking care of his body like the way LeBron does, So, you know, it's it's just an impossible record at this point to break, and I'm just happy to witness it firsthand that LeBron was the first one to do it. It's cool, man. It's not a Lakers fan, not a big LeBron fan, but it's a cool thing to witness though in the history of the NBA.
Yeah. No, I agree. Do you know the closest active player to him right now?
As far as points go,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I nailed it. Yep.
Yep, yep.
Kevin Durant.
hmm
Yeah. So,
How many
and
does he got?
he's got 28,392. So
Yeah,
he just got over
but he's
28. So
he's
he's,
he's 35.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
So
Nope.
even if he played, think about this, even if he played for 5 years, 5 more years, and averaged 2,000 points a season, which is really hard to do. So I don't think he'll do that, but he will still be
Behind Kobe,
two.
wouldn't he?
No, he'd be 2,000 short. I'm saying of LeBron, where LeBron is right now. He'd still be 2,000
Oh, you
points
think
short
he'd
of
pass
where.
up Kareem?
If he did that, he would. Yeah. Just I'm looking at the numbers right
He
now.
got to
He
play
got
5 more years to
an
pass up.
average 2,000 points a season during those 5 years. Yep. That's it. I don't see that. That's tough.
Nah, yeah.
That's tough.
I think
So
KD's slowing down already.
yeah, right,
Like he's not the
exactly. And
same Kevin Durant of old, like
he had a
OKC
couple
Durant.
right, and he's had a couple of big injuries too, so
Yep.
that'll just stick with them as well.
hmm
Okay, man. Anything else on the scoring leader stuff?
Should be it.
Okay, let's go to the next topic we have, which is another LeBron topic. So this was actually something that came up. I don't know if you heard about this
Yep.
earlier last week, where LeBron kind of um, text, I should say tweet. He was basically, and I have the tweets on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. Is basically he was telling people that you should let kids be kids because Bronny did not make the mock draft list on ESPN. He was out of it. He didn't make it. He was I don't I think it's all 60 players that are drafted, but I'm not 100%. Maybe it was just the first round. So he was just telling them just let kids be kids. Uh, but I thought this is interesting because the reason why I posted his other tweet on here, Bronny's definitely a bit better than some of these people that he's watching on League Pass. And so this has happened recently, and as you can see in 2023. So really, LeBron is part of the reason why there is so much hype and attention around his own son. So I just wanted to get your thoughts because my thought is like he can't really be complaining about it because he's kind of the one that hyped it up to this point where now that he's
Right.
not on the list, he's now making a big deal about. But it's like, well, dude, you're the one that kind of made him irrelevant. You're the one saying he's going to play in the NBA. You're saying those things. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's just LeBron being a parent
That's
first,
yep.
and when you're a parent, you know, you want to hype up your kid. You want to, especially the status that LeBron is. Like who he
Hmm.
is in the world. He's a global icon. He's a, you know, his son is following in his father's footsteps. You want that for your kid as being a father. You want your son to follow in the same footsteps that you walked in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get where he's coming from as protecting his son, but at the same time, whatever comes with the icon status, you got to learn how to take too. So LeBron just got to understand that it's not personal. It's a stupid mock draft that doesn't really mean anything. I think LeBron
Hmm.
probably could have just ignored it, kept it in house, and just told Bronny just keep working. I mean, there's things that you can say and you can't say, but I see the emotional side of it too as being a father myself. You don't want people talking crap about your son, and making it seem like he's not worthy of being where you're at, because I know LeBron at the end of the day wants to play with his son, but
Right.
you gotta, you talking crazy on the internet as far as saying some of these guys in the NBA are terrible, that your son's better than them. You got to learn how to take it too. It's just all, just got to learn how to take it sometimes. Dish it, got to take it sometimes.
Sure,
That's all
sure.
that is.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think part of it, his reaction was, and it's a natural reaction, like you said, like he wants to protect his son.
Right.
But like he had to type the tweet out and like think about it for a second, right? It's like with typing that long of a tweet out, you got some time to think and be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm the one that was like he evaluated Shapaz Napier, right? Like when he was coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, oh yeah, I really like this kid, and he mentioned all this stuff. So it's like he understands the process. So I think you're right. He just kind of reacted emotionally. I think he deleted the tweet, but
He
the
did.
internet's forever. So it's hard to, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to outlive that. But um it's just one of those things where it's like, and that probably even put more pressure on Bronny. Like him tweeting that probably brought more attention to Bronny than what was needed. Because I'll be honest with you, I would have never known he wasn't on the mock draft list
If it
unless
wasn't
it
for this tweet.
right, if
Right.
it wasn't
Right.
for LeBron. So,
Right.
yeah, so I guess you just gotta, I guess maybe be a little bit more careful. But I totally understand where you're coming from. Where like he reacted emotionally. That's what
Right. I mean, more
sometimes
people
parents
are
will
going to
do.
look at LeBron's tweet than NBA Central's tweet.
Correct.
I mean, you're going to get
Correct.
people that are going to know that follow that account, but
Hmm.
everybody's eyeing LeBron's account. So LeBron got to
Right.
just be a little bit more careful with that as far as what he tweets out. But like I said, I get it from a father's standpoint. It's emotional. You want to stick up for your kid, and he's a great dad, man. Like, I'm not knocking LeBron for sticking up for his kid, but at the same time, like what you just said, Ryan, it's gonna put more pressure on Bronny now because you throwing those tweets out, little digs at NBA players who are in the league right now that they're terrible, that your son's better than some of these NBA professional players. Now, your Bronny's getting criticism. I mean, you just gotta, if you're gonna take, like I said, if you're gonna give criticism to others, you gotta learn how to take criticism. So it's just part of
Correct.
part of just part of life, man. Like, it's
Yeah,
all
I
right.
agree. I agree, man. I agree. Anything else on the LeBron tweets? We good?
I think oh yeah, what I was gonna say as far as I was watching NBA today when this took place, and I saw the guy that did the mock draft. He said Bronny's only averaging 5 points per game.
Yeah, he's
You know what I'm
not
saying? I mean,
averaging.
the
Yeah,
USC Trojans are not doing that good. So like LeBron can't.
correct.
That's another thing too, where that ties into what I was saying as well. Is like LeBron knows basketball. LeBron's watching his son and his team. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows the college that his son's attending that their team is trash. You
Right.
know, so like LeBron shouldn't get that mad. But that's what I was saying too, as far as emotions go. LeBron wants to play with his son so bad,
Yeah.
you know, and he doesn't want his son to stay another year in college, even though that's what's best for his son. And I think that's like why LeBron, another reason why he probably made that tweet, because he wants to play with him so bad. But the guy that did the mock draft, he was just saying like, you know, LeBron could do great next year, you know, and just kill it, you know. And I agree with that scout is Bronny needs another year just based on the team he chose and the school he chose. It's not a great college basketball program from what I've been seeing.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
you know, LeBron's intelligent enough to understand that and know that they're his team around Bronny is just terrible. Bronny got really great potential, but he needs like maybe like another year or two in college still before he heads into the NBA. And LeBron might be done by then. You know,
Yeah.
like LeBron got like 2 3 years maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I agree. I kind of like and I don't like LeBron that much, but I hope he gets to play with his son because I think that'd be super cool, right?
That would
Like
be
that's just a
awesome.
story. Yeah, okay. But looking at Bronny's stats, yeah, he's shooting 37% from the field. He averages about 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 5 points. So that's what he averages
Hmm.
in college. So you get
Yeah.
like you're not even like one of the better player in college right now. So why would
No.
you want him to go to the NBA? Yeah, give him another year, see
Exactly.
what happens, right?
Exactly.
So,
And that's
but
what the scout said. He said that those aren't stats for a one and done collegiate basketball athlete. And
correct.
that's the
Yes.
truth.
Right.
You know, it's the truth. Like he's not putting up wow numbers. And another thing too, it goes back to when Bronny had that heart problem before um
Oh,
the
sure.
tryouts
Yeah.
or before the practices and stuff. I think it was before the season started, the collegiate college basketball season started, where he had that heart problem and his heart stopped and they had to take him to the hospital. So I think that could be another reason why Bronny's stats aren't that great, based on that scare that had happened. So it's just a lot of things trickle into it, and that's another thing too that goes into the emotion is like, yo, dude, his son almost died to start the year, you
Yeah.
know? So like that's emotional. That probably touches LeBron a little bit more too. So it's like it's a lot of factors that go into these
Correct.
things.
100%. I agree with you. Yep. Mhm. Okay, man. Anything else on this?
That should be it.
Okay, let's go on to our next topic. So we talked about this last week, and I like when we get feedback. I get like from you viewers
Yep.
who view us on YouTube or Twitch. So anytime you want to participate in the conversation or whatever, go right ahead and do that. But I also like when my friends will text me and be like, "Hey, dude, I think you got this wrong." And so remember, me and you both were like, you said you think that in this era there could be a year where AI would average 43 points. I was more on 40. And Clint, our good friend Clint, just had a problem with that. He doesn't think that he could.
He doesn't think
And so,
that AI could.
no, no. And he made some good points. But I did want to reiterate this, and it's important, I think, to reiterate is I don't think he'd average 43 points a season. I think there could be a season where he could average 40 points. So I did the math.
Right.
So the math is if he took 9 threes a game, right? And he made 33% or whatever it is, that's that's 9 points. And this is off of 25 shots a game. So then you get 16 other shots if he shoots 50% from the rest of the field. That means he gets what is that? 8 points, and then 10 free throws, 11 free throws, and 8 free throws. So it's 9, 17. How did I get that? Nine, 8 shots, which would be 16, would be 25. So it'd be 33 points. And I
That's
know
math for
like,
me.
yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is like, so the reason why I wanted to do this is because I'm just giving an example. So I think that he'd average a little bit more on the 3 point line than 33%. I think he'd be a little better and probably a little worse from the rest of the time at field. So he'd probably be about 48% from the field instead of 50% from the 2 point line. But could there be a year where AI goes on fire? Like we see some outlier years, right? Where like a player that shoots 35% career, he goes up to 39 or 40. He just like 42% from three. Could that be AI? Yeah. Like I don't understand how that couldn't be AI. And if he shot that well from three or from two, could he get to 40, almost 40 points per game? I think so. I have him at like averaging 33 a year, but I think the right season comes along in this era of the NBA, he could get to 40 or like you said, maybe even 43 depending. That's all I wanted to say because I think I didn't want to imply that he would average 43 points every year. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't think that's what is that what AI meant it? Because I didn't take it as that. I thought he would say like he could do that in this
I guess
era.
I guess I didn't like I heard the clip and I didn't hear him specify if that makes sense.
Right.
He just
Like
said,
I
"Yeah,
don't
I'd
think he
average
would have
43
averaged.
points." And
No, 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 no. I
I'm
didn't
like,
think
"Yeah,
every
so
year.
yeah, I don't think so either." Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. But I think he could get there. Like you just said, in one of his seasons, or maybe he could do it twice in his career. Yeah, absolutely. I think he could.
Yeah, yeah. So I did appreciate like Clint's points on it though, like him being 6 foot, like like he wasn't the best shooter even when he was on even in the mid range. I checked out on basketball reference. He shot like 22, 23% from mid range in some areas. So it's not like he was the greatest mid range shooter, but part of the argument would be that the floor spacing would be better
Hmm.
and that the defense wouldn't be as good either
Right.
because of the rules of the NBA today.
Right. But
So
I just think in this era too, though, like the way basketball's evolved to the 3 point, he would have to have a 3 point. He would have to work on that. Seeing everybody jacking up threes, AI would have been doing that. You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? So it's like, because now everybody's doing it. Even big men have evolved from back in his era, where big men got 3 pointers now. So if a big man could shoot in this era, you don't think AI would have had a shot in this era?
No,
Absolutely.
I agree, and that's why. But I went even conservative. I was like, hey, even if he shot 33% from the 3 point line, let's see. I wanted to see like because Trae Young, for instance, right? Last year, Trae Young shot 33% from the 3 point line,
Hmm.
34% one year, and he 1 year he shot where is it here? He shot 38% from the 3 point line. He averaged almost 30 points a game. So it's like, so could AI 1 year get to like 38% from three, 50% from the field, where he's close to 50, where he goes up for 40? I think he could. It's just I don't know why, Trae Young's more of a willing passer than AI was, so I don't know, so yeah, and I'm with you. He'd have to develop a three ball, but
Right.
I think he could. I think
Yeah,
he
I think
could.
he would have
Yeah,
developed it.
yeah. And if he was on LeBron James' team, um, he would get a lot of open threes. So
Yeah, he would.
yeah, he would. Okay, let's catch up with the rest of the NBA then. That's our next topic then. We had a couple of just things that didn't get to talk about last week. So,
Mm.
did you see the ending of the Knicks and the Pistons game
Terrible
last
call.
week?
Yep.
Oh
I
man.
saw Monty Williams was heated at the press conference about it.
Yeah.
It was a terrible call by the refs, point blank. But I was reading some comments about that game. People were like, why do you care? Because your season's not like you're gonna go to the playoff. But that's not the point. The point is calling a good game. and making it, because the Pistons should have won that game.
Yeah.
So,
There was a podcaster that Luke has a hard time with that I used to like a lot more. I do like him still. His name's Kevin O'Connor. He's on the Ringer, and he was trying to justify the non call, but he acted like there's no such thing as like a loose ball fall. Like he's like, well, Asar really didn't have control of the ball, but that's why there's a loose ball fall. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. He was
dude
tackled on
dove.
the court.
Yeah,
I
dude
know,
dove
I
at
know,
him.
I know. And so, and then not only that, but what was insult to injury after Asar got tackled, they called an and one for Josh Hart where Jalen Duren jumps up and his arms are straight up. Like he played defense as perfect as you could as a big man, and they called a foul on him right after Asar got tackled, and it helped the Knicks win the game. And
Yep.
I agree with you in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter because the Pistons aren't good, but it's the principle. You want the right calls being called on the field, on the court, and that was an atrocious call. And I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about it last week, but we had to wait till this week. So I
Right.
just wanted to get my thoughts out there.
Yeah, no, that was a terrible call, man. It was egregious. And but we've been saying this all year though with refs in
Oh,
general in any sport. They've just been terrible, in professional sports, like
yeah.
it's been terrible. It's
Yeah,
garbage.
and this they got. I just, I mean, we'll talk about it some more, I'm sure, but it's just like they got to fix it. I don't understand why they can't or why they don't. Is the problem? I just whatever.
Were
Um,
the Pistons out of challenges? Could they have challenged that call?
I don't know if they were on. I see. You can't I don't think you can challenge necessarily a no call,
Okay,
but they must have been out of challenge because they didn't challenge that M1. I don't think from Josh Hart, so they must have used their challenge
gotcha.
beforehand.
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, it's just
It's terrible.
yeah, tough. The only positive was the ref admitted afterwards that he blew the call. So that was
Yeah.
the only positive. At least the ref admitted that like, hey, I didn't get that one right. So that was kind of nice. Um, okay, Chet versus Wimby. Did you get to watch that last week?
Yes, I did.
Oh, wasn't
Wemby
that
went
cool?
crazy.
He did, didn't he?
I was trying to tell people. I know everybody was saying Chet over Wembenyama, but bro, Wembenyama's gonna be the face of this league, man.
Oh, for hands down.
I am definitely a Wembenyama fan.
He should be a Piston. Did I ever tell you that before?
You tell me that all the time. We talk about
I
him.
know.
He definitely should have been. If he was a Piston, Ryan, you guys would be
uh,
really good. You guys be set for years to
we'd be
come.
better off for sure. Yep. Yeah, it was a good battle. I just thought even that one play where it was like Chet was doing like his dribble moves and he did a step back and then Wembanyama ended up blocking him. And it's like
Hmm.
Luke showed me that play and he's like, how many times do you think Chet Holmgren is actually blocked on that play? He's like, nobody else is that tall. It's like probably never, you know? So, yeah, it was. I mean, his defense has been better. There was one game he almost had a quad double. I think he had 7 blocks. And I think in the month of February, he had 47 blocks when Binyama did. And that was more than like 10 teams combined.
It's
He had more
crazy.
blocks than like ten teams of all, not all the teams combined, but the players on each team combined. Does that make sense? Yeah, which is nuts to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wembenyama, man. LeBron called him an alien. He's not from Earth.
100%,
He's from he's
100%.
from another planet.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Nobody
crazy.
should nobody should look that way. He did get a triple double too with 10 blocks. That's right. Oh
Seven
man.
foot five doing all that.
Yeah.
Seven
Yeah.
foot five,
The
7'6". That's crazy.
the only thing that will even stop him from making any type of huge impact on the NBA is just injuries. And I think if he can stay healthy, he's going to be fine. So,
I think he'll be good. He's gonna have a great
yeah,
career.
100%, 100%. Yeah. That's the other thing is he hasn't dealt with any injuries. So
No.
here. Okay, so I just want to be right about this. 40 so in February at one point he had 38 blocks. The Bulls had 36 as a team. The Knicks had 35, the Kings had 35, the Clippers had 34, the Blazers had 26 and the Heat had 23. So Victor had more blocks than like six other teams, which is absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Even like, oh man, it's just he's gonna be fun to watch. Okay. Any other NBA topics you want to talk about? Any other NBA stuff?
He's the team leader in everything but assists.
And that's because he's not asked to handle the ball much, which is unfortunate.
Crazy. 3.4 block. You think he's the defensive player of the year?
Man, he's got to be. I guess my question would be, would you give it to him when his team is, what is his team, like 11 and 50, something like that? He's just, their team is not
Yeah.
winning.
You're saying
Like
no player should get an individual reward if your team is terrible.
Yeah, I kind of am in that category because I not that I think his defense will contribute to winning in the future, but
Yeah.
his defense right now, they're 13 and 50, 13 and 48, so I wasn't too far off. But yeah, I'm more about like reward the players that are on teams that have like a winning culture, and the Spurs
Sure.
do not have that right now. So
Right. What's up, Ivan? How you doing, bro? Ivan just joined the stream.
hey, Ivan, how's it going, man? Um. Yeah, so we'll have to watch that. But what do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think he should be MVP? I think he's going to be Rookie of the Year, not MVP. Defensive Player of the Year. I think he'll be Rookie of the Year. But do you think he'll be Defense Player of the
I'd
Year?
say give it to him. Yeah.
Okay.
Getting all them blocks. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be in that conversation, I would think. I mean, it's the same thing as far as like, we won't give Tatum the reward, the MVP award, even though he's in a winning culture. So if it's gonna be inconsistent with even if you're winning and it doesn't matter, then I don't think it should matter. Period. If you're on a losing team,
Mm.
like it should be an individual reward. If you're playing defense, even if your team sucks, you should look at the stats. If that's what we're gonna be, picky and choosy about is individual stats when it all comes down to it. I think Wembanyama deserves it. I think he'd be the first rookie to win it too, wouldn't he?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to do research on that because it's like, when did Bill Russell win his first Defensive Player of the Year award?
Yeah.
Was it his rookie year? And what about Wilt or I'm saying like
How
it,
do I
it
how
would.
do I check the stats as far as like is
Oh,
he is he the
interesting.
is he the league leader in blocks?
Yeah, he averaged 3.4 right now, and the next closest guy was Kessler with 2.7.
Gotcha.
So if I'm looking at this right,
Yep, 2.7.
I wonder the defensive player of the year reward did not come into play until
Probably the 80s.
9 1982. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Russell is not on the list. So, as far as then there being a rookie, I'd have to double check.
Says, yep, nope, no rookie's ever done it. The youngest player to ever win an NBA Defensive Player of the Year award ever was last year, Jaren Jackson Jr. He was the
Okay.
youngest.
Interesting. So that'd be kind of cool just to have have a rookie defensive player of the year for the first time.
People are saying
But
Chet. Chet would be the youngest.
oh, if he won the award this year?
Yeah, but not Chet's. Wembanyama's. He's taking off on Chet.
So
Do you think Chet's a better player than him? I'm not talking about team. Obviously, we know the team around Chet's better. I'm just saying individually.
I would take Wimby over Chet.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's unfortunate, man. If Chet came in any other year, Chet would be
I
so
know that's
amazing.
sad, isn't it? Well,
That's so
like
sad. Chet would be
yeah, I
so
know.
good. Now he's
I
just
know.
overlooked. Or now he's going to be overlooked now because of Wembanyama. It's unfortunate.
Correct. Correct. Well, them two will always be compared to each other too.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
you got.
that's
Well, I remember early in the
unfortunate for Chet.
podcast. I think like a few months back, weren't Luke and Avery saying Chet by a long shot? It's not even close over Wembanyama,
Yeah, for rookie of the
rookie of the
year, we
year.
were talking about
Yeah,
rookie of the year. I at that time I would have gave it to Chet too. But I'm gonna get like this is why you let the season play out. It's
right.
because now you got to go to Wembanyama, right? Because of the
Absolutely.
way he's been playing. And the Spurs are part of the problem though, because the Spurs were playing uh in a way that wasn't really helping Wembanyama show his strengths on
Hmm.
the court early on this season with Jeremy Sohan like bringing up the ball and other things. But now they're playing different and really allowing Wembanyama to to thrive.
Yeah, Wembanyama. When he's in the league for like 4 to 5 years, 6 years, man, it's gonna be scary. It's
I
gonna be
agree.
scary. Like he's
Yeah,
doing this already in his rookie year, and he really doesn't know what he's doing. He got no. He
correct.
doesn't know who he is as an individual player yet. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know.
Like he hasn't
No,
found his
I agree.
identity. That's what I'm saying. It's scary, man. That is scary. Spurs are gonna
Yeah,
be winning championships again.
he
Past
he's a
Tim Duncan era.
he's a guy that I mean, would you be surprised if he like in his peak averages like 5, 6 blocks a game? I
Nope, I
mean,
wouldn't
like
be
I
surprised
wouldn't.
about it.
You know, yeah, I think he
He's gonna be
could.
the quadruple double monster
That's
because
it.
I think
That's
his
it.
passing's gonna evolve too.
I
You
agree.
know, so
And
I think he's gonna average a lot of assists in his career. I think his rebounds. He's gonna be averaging 20 rebounds a game.
well, so his stats in the last 10 games that he's played, 50% from the field, he's shooting 43% from three. He's 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks, and 2 steals a game in his last 10.
I know
Hmm.
he's averaging 1.3 steals this year. That's insane, bro. He's averaging more steals than a guard.
I know.
That's like not even fair.
I agree.
That is not fair, bro.
We're gonna have to.
10.2 rebounds this year. And like I've been seeing like the way Wembanyama like when like when the ball gets off the rim or off the glass, like he's just so long he doesn't even have to get into good position to get a rebound. Now
Correct.
imagine when he adds that to his game, like good positioning,
Right.
good box out skills, way to move his feet, and like shuffling his feet to get in position to grab a rebound. He's gonna be averaging 20 boards a game,
Yeah, he's gonna be hard because the other thing is he'll put on a little bit more muscle. Like he'll put on more
bro.
muscle too.
It's
So
scary.
yeah.
It's scary, man. He's gonna be
He
averaging like 32 is with that. He's gonna be averaging like 30 points a game, 20 boards, probably like 8, 9 assists a game, 2 steals a game, 6 blocks a game. Like he's gonna be insane, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like he might be the closest one to catching up to LeBron as far as like career statistics, but like you said, it all factors in like how well he takes care of his body, injuries,
right.
so on and
Longevity
so
is going to
forth.
be the biggest thing.
Longevity.
Yeah, for
Yep.
anybody who wants to touch that record, they got to play for a long time.
Right.
So
But Wemby could do it, man. This guy's a
yeah,
freak.
I I agree. He's gonna be something, that's for sure. I don't know what that something is, but it's something. Something we've never seen before, that's for sure. Um any other NBA stuff you want to hit on?
Um, I just want to look at like who's leading. Because I was looking at some stats. Okay, so Luca's average is averaging more. He's averaging the most points this year.
Hmm.
With SGA. Do you think Luca is in the MVP conversation this year?
I got to see where his team finishes because again, I'm about you got to have a winning team, you know what I'm saying? But like if they barely get in the play, I guess he has to be because he's averaging 34 points and where would that team be without him? But what are they right now standings wise?
I think
They're
they're
eighth.
35,
Yeah, they're 34 and
34 and
37. I mean
27.
27. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I meant. Yeah. And they're eighth in the West. So If they can somehow secure that like 5 or 6 seed, I would put him in the conversation. He would be in the top five for me.
So your MVP is Jokic hands down. Nobody's touching that. That's a lock for Jokic.
Uh I wouldn't. I would not lock it, but I would say he's my favorite right now of getting the MVP.
So who's your top five?
Oh man, you're gonna make me do this right now. Okay, I haven't done my research notes, Isaac. Um, I would say probably Giannis, Shea, not in this order, but Giannis, Shea, uh, um, Jokic, Tatum, and Luca. Those would be my five.
Those are your five.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good five.
Do you have someone else in your five? And
Um,
there's still like, what, 20 games to go. So it could
yeah,
change, but
it could definitely change. I'm just trying to see. Um, no, I was gonna say I would say Ant, but SGA took that over, so I'm not gonna put Ant in that conversation. But Ant's been balling this year.
he's been good. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. He just like I don't think he's been more impactful. He's been impactful, but I think Shea's been more impactful for his team.
Then,
Jokic,
yep,
Giannis,
right,
Tatum,
right,
those type of players. The
correct, yeah.
players that I mentioned. So,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was
um,
looking at his other. I was trying to see like if he's leading his team in like any other categories, and he's just only leading in points.
yeah.
Well, steals too, but
Well, and they have a good team. That's the other thing. So his stats,
right,
stats in some areas are just not as needed as if he would have been if he played for like the Mavericks, for instance. He'd probably be asked to do a lot more with the Mavericks than he does with the Timberwolves.
right. Did you see the James Harden 0 for 10, 0 for 6?
I did see that.
I mean,
The
telling like
Clippers,
he's gonna like I have the Clippers coming out the West, but I was telling Luke, I said James Harden is gonna be the reason why the Clippers don't. I just
yeah,
know that
sure,
for a fact. I've seen it too many times where James Harden's gonna shoot them out the games.
right, yep.
And I've been stating this all year. Like James Harden is man, he's gonna hurt that team. You know, it's unfortunate. Westbrook didn't play though last night, so
Well, he fractured his hand. I don't know
mm,
when he's going to be back. But Harden being 0 for 10 and the Timberwolves somehow losing that game is the Clippers somehow winning that game is a little bit more puzzling. Like
yeah,
it kind of shows though that the Clippers can overcome a bad James Harden game.
that's true. But
So
oh man, it's just they're playing the Bucks though tonight, so that should be a
they
fun one.
are.
I'm surprised they're not
Yeah.
going to the game.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, is it in Milwaukee?
Yeah,
It's in
it's
Milwaukee.
tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. You getting Enzo?
Yeah, I gotta get Enzo.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, that would be fun though to
That's
go
right.
see
Oh,
him.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Paul George. Paul
Um,
George didn't have a good game either though last night either.
no, that's what I'm saying. Somehow they won that one. They
Yeah, I don't
probably
know how they beat the
shouldn't have. Yeah.
Timberwolves. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, Ant didn't have a good shooting night either. So
Yeah, 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 and that's the kind of thing is you can kind of play around with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go from Ant to whatever he had a bad game. James, what's his name? James Harden had a bad game, so they kind of like offset one another, if that makes sense.
right. He
Yeah.
said James. What's his name?
What did I say?
He said James. What's his name?
Oh, Harden. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that
I
was
was
great.
looking at some numbers, and I was trying to multitask, which is not always a good option to do. Whatever his name is, James Jimmers. So, okay, man. Anything else?
No, I think we covered everything that's been going on in the NBA. You got anything else to add in there? Any
I know I
debate
don't.
topics?
Not today, but me and you. I told you already, but I'm gonna get a schedule together. I'm gonna send you a schedule, and you're gonna just help me add to it. And we're
Okay.
gonna have some debate topics. I want to get off season of the NFL. What we're gonna do is put it at the end of some of these other podcasts, since we can't fill a whole NFL podcast yet. So we're gonna do some of that as well. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that's good for today.
Yeah. Covered an hour
Okay.
of it. So
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. And I know you got to get. You're gonna be getting Enzo today, and
Yep.
so. Okay, man. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. If you haven't yet, come and just subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Boxscore Sports Podcast. You can just hit the notification button, and that will let you know when we go live. We encourage anybody who wants to come on to join the chat. And sometimes we did one time, and we want to do it more. We're going to have some call-ins. So if you want to call in and tell me how wrong I am about my opinions, I'm okay with that. Also, check us out on Twitter and Instagram, and follow my guy Isaac here on Twitch and Twitter at Soury Lemon. Anything else to add, Isaac?
That should be it.
Okay, man. Well, thank you all for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys soon.